Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I am coming to you to bring you this really cute project, this adorable card with the Joyful Life stamp set. It is a new stamp set out of the Holiday Mini Catalog. Let me grab my tab here. There we go. It's on page 63, and it is like the cutest little stamp set. It's $20, and you can purchase it on my online store. If you go to Inky Hands Warm Hearts, at the top there's a drop down and it says shop with me. Click the actual words that say shop with me, and it'll take you to my store. Isn't it so cute? All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what we need first is we are going to use this, make this tree line. And I'm using this die set. It is called Inspiring Canopy, and we are going to use these trees right here. We are also going to use this little wiggle line for the bottom to form the little path that they are on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull both of those out, and we're going to get started with them. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it's kind of big, so hopefully it will fit somewhat normally in the camera. There we go. And we are going to use plate number 1, which is the platform, plate number 2, which is for the thin dies, and then plate number 3 is going to be at the bottom. This is my cut plate, and we're going to be cutting out of soft suede cardstock the trees. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a dryer sheet on there, and that is like a little sandwich that we're going to put right here. We're going to put the trees because there's a lot of pieces like in between all these little open pieces that you see will create a little bit of waste, and I don't want it to be staticky and stuck, so it's kind of a trick that I have. Also, whenever I'm doing a large die, I put it through a little bit on the crooked side, and that helps to cut it really well. I'm gonna show you about the dryer sheet trick in a minute, but first I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up and set it to the side, and I'll show you in a couple minutes. I'm gonna just move that because we're gonna go ahead and cut the path. See, I'll show you. This is the little path. It's right here, and that's the little path that they're on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that as well. I'm gonna place that right there, and I'm gonna put a piece of washi tape on there to kind of hold it in place. Keep it from wiggling too much. All right, let me put the washi tape back up on my machine. That's where it likes to live, so that when I need it, it's there. And I will show you everything in just 1 second. Let me get the machine out of the way. All right, so here was our little piece, which it cut that right there. So that's our path. This we don't need. Bring my little sheet back here. And then this die we also do not need, so we're gonna put it, I think I had it this way and this was up here, yeah. Just get it to fit on my little magnet. There we go. put that away. So we're done with this die set. It's a really good die set though. Inspiring Canopy dies. All right, so let's talk about this. So when we die cut and put the dryer sheet on, the big pieces are never the problem to come out of a die, right? So we're gonna just pull the big pieces off. It's all these little intricate pieces. So I like to use a dryer sheet because it helps to release the tree and leave all these small pieces here attached. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. And as I pull up, you will start to see that the small pieces are left or stuck onto the dryer sheet. Well, most of them. Some still come through, but for the most part, it helps to release them. And that way you're not trying to pull all these itty bitty pieces out. So we're just gonna shake them as we go. As we little by little pull up with my other hand, I'm just letting them release. That dryer sheet really helps when you use it on intricate dies. So now I'm gonna pull from the bottom to the top because it's our last tree. And as you can see, it's keeping most of these pieces right on here. And there's a few but left. I will show you those. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this here. So I have this small one. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and I'm going to use this bottom piece here to push out the remaining ones. There's like 2 or 3 left. That's it. So flip it to the back, make sure none of them are hanging on, and they're not. And then what I like to do is I just fold this in on itself and then deposit it in the trash can so that I don't have any little pieces stuck on my table. All right, so we're good to go there. Here's our little tree line and our path that we're gonna put at the bottom. So I'm gonna move that over to the side. Now we're gonna create the sky. And in order to do that, I am going to be using a piece of copy paper. And I'm gonna grab my white, basic white, and my Balmy Blue ink and a blending brush. So I'm gonna roll my blending brush on here and I'm gonna deposit the first dark spots on there. And then I'm gonna just bring my brush and I'm gonna deposit ink in a circular motion over my cardstock. Come back in, deposit the dark. I'm gonna start on this side this time. And it kind of gives that illusion of having clouds in the sky. Now, even though the path is gonna be down here, I don't know how far it's gonna cover, so I just wanna fill my whole piece in that blue. So that is our sky. We are also going to use basic gray and a different blending brush. I had these before Stampin' Up came out with blending brushes, and I never could find them in a large size. And I really like them bigger. So I'm so glad that I'm able to get them from Stampin' Up now. So I'm just gonna kind of deposit some ink on this piece of gray granite and kind of darken it up so that it's a path. All right, next we're going to stamp our bear, and we're also going to put the words "Friends like you make life a joy." Just make sure that I have the ink on there. I think it looks good. So we're gonna put that down here in this bottom corner. Friends like you make life a joy. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our bear. If I can find my piece, here we go. So this is kind of a larger stamp, so I'm actually gonna bring the ink to the stamp rather than the other way around. Isn't he so cute? I just think he's adorable. And now I will go ahead and attempt to stamp him on this piece of basic white cardstock. There we go. He looks awesome. Now we can clean our stamps. I got a little ink on my finger. And go ahead and clean this one as well. So let's go ahead and color him. The last thing we're gonna have to stamp are the leaves, but we'll do those all at the same time. So let's go ahead and color our bear, and I'm gonna be using some Stampin' Blends. I have them in a cup here. And we're gonna start with light Old Olive, and we're gonna do this part of his sweater up here by his neck, and the part that's down here, and of course on the cuffs of his sweater as well. So that's it for that color. Let's go ahead and go with Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use also the bullet tip, which is this thinner tip to get around all these spots here. And I'm going to outline his sweater and come down like this. And we're going to go ahead and fill that in. Coloring with these Stampin' Blends are so nice because they blend so beautifully and it makes coloring so quick. So that is that. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the bicycle. So that is pumpkin pie. I'm going to use the light pumpkin pie. And we're going to outline the bicycle basket first. And then we're going to use a very light hand here to go down and get all the parts of his bicycle, which are rather thin. And we'll do here his pedals, because he has a fancy bike, right? And his pedals match. And then this part of the frame right here. All right. All right, so we're going to use basic black for the tires. And then we'll do both the little critters. So I'm just going to go and outline these tires here. Again, I'm using the bullet tip. And I'm going to go around twice, so I get them as dark as I want them. All right, now comes our little bear. Now, I colored him in gray granite, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the light gray granite. And I'm just gonna outline his face and around his head here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and color the whole piece in. See how fast you color with this. I'm gonna do his little hands, and then that little piece of his belly that's sticking out, and then I'm gonna go around his feet. And the reason that I do this outlining is so that I don't go outside the lines. And then as I fill in, I can go up to that line that I've outlined. And then we're gonna do his little back leg. Same thing, I'm gonna go around, outline, and then fill it in. All right, so now we're going to actually use the dark gray granite, and I'm going to highlight all his little parts that have like the fur with the darker color. And then I'm going to give him some shadow. So he's going to have a shadow here, maybe on this back part of his leg, down his foot, this under part here, around his collar, and maybe around his little nose and down. So after I do the shadowing, I'm going to go ahead and fill that back in. I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm going to kind of pull that shadowing that I did down and blend it, or up and blend it in. And then on his back leg as well. All right, so there is our bear. Darken his little face a little. All right, now our bunny. Our bunny is in light crumb cake. And we're gonna go ahead and get him done rather fast. He's pretty quick because he's so small. And I'm gonna do his ear. And around this one. All right. There's our bunny. All right, let's go ahead and fussy cut him out. We're gonna use our paper snips. And then we'll be ready to assemble our card after we're done cutting him out. So I like to leave a little border around the edges. To me, it helps draw the eye in. And it makes your cutting look a lot better. And I also move my paper and not my scissor. You can see my left hand moving the paper after I put the blade down. It wiggles around and kind of sets up my paper here for me so I don't have choppy cutting. I'll work my way around. And I just kind of hold the scissor and move the paper. When I get to the end of the blade, then I move my scissor up. But other than that, I'm moving my paper. So just pay attention when you watch me fussy cut, and you will see that I am moving the paper. Sometimes when I talk about it, I feel like I don't move it as well. I know that's silly, but I think I just become like conscious of it, but I just do it naturally because I've been crafting for so long. Over 20 years I've been stamping. Getting close to 30 soon. So I started in my 20s and I am in my early 50s. So it's kind of exciting and fun to think that I've been doing paper crafts for so long, but I love them. I love the instant satisfaction that you get from paper crafting, that in, 20 to 30 minutes you can have something that is so fun and so cool and like that you made, and it's so quick. There we go. So there is our little bear with our bunny. All right, let's go ahead and start assembling the card, and then we can stamp the leaves. So this is a piece of Mango Melody. It's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. Here, the 11 inches was down here, and I cut it in half at 5.5. So it's 5.5 by 4 by 8.5, and then I'm gonna fold it in half with my bone folder to form my card. We are going to attach our sky right here, okay, onto our piece. So let's get our seal adhesive. And there we go. Just like that. Now we're going to use our wet adhesive. It's a multi-purpose glue, and I am going to get a silicone mat out because I don't like to get glue on everything, and I will if I don't use it. So I am going to start first with putting it down these trunk pieces. Well, once I get it started anyway. has to start flowing. There we go. So I'm just gonna lightly go over these parts of the tree, and whatever falls on my silicone mat can be rubbed off later once it dries. So I will just kind of put a little bit, and this is a very sticky adhesive. We're going to go down the trunks here and down this part. Okay, so that is good. Let me close my adhesive. And we're going to lay this onto our card. So let me grab a hold of it right there. You can see all the little glue pieces on here. This will dry and then it will rub right off. So I'm gonna position my tree. I want it kind of near the top. I want all the branches pretty high up on my card. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it like this. And I will just press those down. This adhesive takes just a second to grip. I probably don't have any under this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a dot or two right there. And then get this to stick. There we go. Get that to stick down. There we go. So now I'm gonna snip this off. I don't want it to go off the edge of my card. That's gonna get covered with the road, which we can go ahead and put adhesive on. And all right, so let's attach our road at the bottom, and I'm gonna line that up with the base right here of this basic white paper. Just like that. So there is our road. Now in between here, I'm gonna stamp some leaves. So let me cover my glue. All right. And we're gonna put a few leaves like they're falling, okay? So we're gonna put one this direction here, one in here, some right here. I'll put a couple in this one, and then a couple in this spot here. All right, and then I have a strip of cardstock, if I can find it, that I have cut. I don't know what I've done with it now. Oh, here it is. And this is for the inside of the card. We're gonna attach it right here. So I will show you the inside of this one. So I'm gonna stamp some of these guys. So we're gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on that piece, and then I'm done with all my stamping. I'm gonna bring my markers back out and color, but let me clean my stamp first. And then we're gonna attach our little guy onto our piece. So what we wanna do now is go ahead and color these, and I'm gonna use 5 different colors or 6 different colors, whatever, how many leaves there are. I'm just gonna pick random ones in each grouping, and I'm gonna do 1 in this light pumpkin pie. We'll use this yellow daffodil for one of them. And you can see I'm just grabbing one that's not colored in to apply that color to it. Let's do Old Olive Light for one of these. It goes pretty quick. Let's do a red one. The red leaves are so pretty to me. And let's do a brown. Let's do a crumb cake for the last one. All right, so that one's done. And we'll finish up our leaves on our card. And then we're going to do one more tiny bit of coloring. I want to show you, we're going to use the dark gray granite because this bear is going to sit like this, and I want his bike to blend in. I don't want the white to show. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to outline like I did before. And then once I'm done with the outlining, I'm going to use the brush tip to color, but these pieces I can do these in-between pieces here of the bike. We just want that to kind of fade into the background. So let's go ahead and, I won't use the brush tip, this is pretty quick. I'm gonna do inside the wheels and kind of like all in between the frame pieces in the background color of the cardstock. All right, make sure that I got it coated well since I didn't use the brush tip. All right. So that part is going to be laying on there. You'll see here in a minute. Let me move these guys out of the way. We're going to go ahead and attach our piece inside, and we're going to use our seal adhesive. There's our folding leaves. Okay, and then we're going to use our glue dots to attach our bear. So we're going to go ahead and grab the larger ones. One on his head, one on each wheel. Put one on the bunny basket, one back here. Oops. And there we go. And I'm going to use a mini one on his foot there, because we also want that lifted. And I like to use the take your pick tool, so I'm going to pull these backings off. Oops, make sure they're stuck so that they can lift off of here for me. And one more to go. All right, I'll grab that with my finger. I think I have too many on there. We'll throw these in the trash. And now we're going to position our little guy on his bicycle with his bunny. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I think I want to move it up a little, just a hair. Okay. I want her to look like she's throwing that. There we go. So there is my card with our little bunny in the basket. It looks like she's flinging those leaves, I think. I just think it's adorable. I hope that you have enjoyed this card. It is a really fun one, and this die set is awesome. Inspiring canopy dies with the beautiful tree line. It also has these pieces which you could fill the tree with green or colored leaves. There's a pattern paper called Beauty of the Earth that is really pretty, and you could die cut these pieces out of it, and there's multiple leaves. They have like patterns with lots of colors, like fall leaf colors that you could use with this. That would be absolutely beautiful. So if you have enjoyed, I would greatly appreciate it if you would give me a like, a comment, a share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so if you don't mind helping me out with those likes, comments, sharing, and subscribing, and ask your friends to subscribe too. When you subscribe, you're going to get notifications of when I post new videos. Check out my blog, Inky Hands Warm Hearts. That's where you can shop at my store. and the inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I will also link that in the description below. And when you go there, you can access PDFs, measurements, and lots of fun projects. So I do blog every single day, so there's always inspiration for you on my blog. I hope that you've enjoyed this project. Thank you so much for watching, and happy stamping. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts.